With football season upon us, it's time to dive into our annual rankings of every NFL team's #1 wide receiver. So, where does your favorite team's most trusted target land? Let's dive right into our rankings of every club's top receiver for 2025, from worst to first. Number 32, Matthew Golden, Green Bay Packers. The Packers used a first-round pick on a receiver for the first time since 2002, snagging the Texas wideout with the number 23 pick. Not only is Golden hard to rank because he's a rookie, though, but also because of Green Bay's crowded receiver room. Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and tight end Tucker Kraft will get a lot of targets as well. Either of them could be Jordan Love's top weapon in 2025, making Golden's value too difficult to analyze compared to every other WR1. Number 31, Michael Pittman Jr., Indianapolis Colts. Pittman earned a 3-year, $70 million extension after posting his best season in 2024, so expectations were much higher entering year 5. Anthony Richardson's struggles didn't help, but folks expected more than 69 receptions for 808 yards and 3 touchdowns from Pittman. And since we're terrified, in a bad way, that it is a Richardson-Daniel Jones QB room, we're preparing for Pittman's numbers to regress even more in 2025. Number 30, Stephon Diggs, New England Patriots. Yeah, Keller is skeptical that Diggs will regain his All-Pro form on a rebuilding Patriots team. Did we mention that he turns 32 in November and that he's recovering from an ACL tear that cut his 2024 season short? Diggs will improve the Patriots' passing game with Drake May, yeah, but his days as a #1 receiver are over. 800 to 900 yards are a more realistic target for Diggs at this phase of his career. Number 29, Jacoby Myers, Las Vegas Raiders. Myers' 87 receptions and 1,027 yards were career highs. No small feat given the Raiders' awful quarterback room and the presence of Brock Bowers, who had a record-setting rookie tight end season. But Myers will find it tough to repeat those numbers with prized rookie running back Ashton Genty in the fold. The offense is going to run through Bowers and the Boise State product, so temper your expectations on Myers building off last year's personal bests. Number 28, Tataroa McMillan, Carolina Panthers. The Panthers used the number 8 pick on the big-bodied Arizona wideout, hoping that he'll end their search for a #1 receiver. 2024 first-round pick Xavier Legette should improve after a meh rookie year, but McMillan's size and skill set will make him Bryce Young's go-to guy. Just how much McMillan produces as a rookie remains to be seen. Number 27, Khalil Shakir, Buffalo Bills. Shakir emerged as Buffalo's new #1 receiver following the Stephon Diggs trade, recording 76 receptions for 821 yards and 4 touchdowns. There's a possibility of Keon Coleman or newcomer Josh Palmer beating him for the lead receiver role, making Shakir a tricky ranking here. His numbers weren't eye-popping, but the Bills dumped Diggs and successfully transitioned to a everybody-feasts offense. Unlike Diggs, Shakir isn't throwing tantrums and demanding more targets. Being a team player matters more than stat padding, and that is exactly what the Bills need. Number 26, Chris Olave, New Orleans Saints. After back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career, concussion woes limited Olave to just 8 games in 2024. His injury history factors into the rankings here, but so does the fact that the Saints have the worst QB room in the entire NFL. Look, say what you want about Derek Carr, but he was great at getting the ball into Olave's hands. Not sure how much Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler will do for Olave, though. Number 25, Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers have said that they don't expect Ayuk back until week 6. Otherwise, he'd be closer to the top 20 on our rankings. Ayuk had a frustrating 7 games before suffering ACL and MCL tears last year, and he was on pace to finish below 1,000 receiving yards. There's a possibility of Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall overtaking him as the lead receiver, hence Ayuk's low ranking here. But hey, if he comes back at full strength, well, just remind yourself of 2022 and 2023 Brandon Ayuk. We know what he can do. Number 24, Jerry Jeudy, Cleveland Browns. Playing on a lousy Cleveland team didn't stop Jeudy from finally breaking out after 4 underwhelming seasons with the Denver Broncos. The change of scenery led to a career year for Jeudy, who caught 90 passes for 1,229 yards and 4 touchdowns. We know there is a lot of uncertainty at the Browns QB room, but Jeudy did this with 4 different QBs last year. Why can't he post similar or better numbers in 2025? Number 23, Calvin Ridley, Tennessee Titans. The Titans were the NFL's worst team last season, but Ridley certainly is not at fault. He had a superb first year in Music City, tallying 64 receptions for 1,017 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tennessee doesn't have any other stud receivers after Ridley, and first overall pick Cam Ward should be an upgrade over Will Levis. So don't be surprised if his numbers are even better in 2025. Number 22, Zay Flowers, Baltimore Ravens. Despite playing in a rush-first offense led by Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, Flowers broke out with 74 catches for 1,059 yards and 4 touchdowns to earn his first Pro Bowl nod. He was was a beast in Baltimore's 2 playoff games as well, logging 9 catches for 156 yards and a touchdown. Because Baltimore is a run-first team, Flowers won't be posting all-world numbers as the number 1 receiver. And hey, that's okay. Don't fix what isn't broken. Number 21, Courtland Sutton, Denver Broncos. At long last, Sutton returned to the 1K receiving mark last season after a 5-year hiatus. He formed excellent chemistry with rookie QB Bo Nix, with the new super tandem leading Denver to a surprise 10-win season and a playoff appearance. Denver's pass-catching group is thin outside of Sutton and tight end Evan Ingram, and Nix should be even better in year 2. So Sutton is in a good spot to post career numbers here in 2025. Number 20, Xavier Worthy, Kansas City Chiefs. If not for a likely suspension, we'd have Rashee Rice in this spot instead. But alas, his inevitable ban and Travis Kelce's gradual decline opens the door for Worthy to emerge as Patrick Mahomes' top weapon. Worthy had 59 catches for 638 yards and 6 touchdowns as a rookie. Not great, but similar numbers to Tyreek Hill's 2016 rookie year. And hey, we saw how Hill turned out. Bottom line, a monster breakout season is incoming for Worthy. Number 19, Vlad McConkey, Los Angeles Chargers. McConkey caught 82 passes for 1,149 yards and 7 touchdowns in his rookie year, helping the Chargers to 11 wins and a wild-card berth. We can see McConkey making a leap to top 10, but the arrivals of Omari and Hampton, Najee Harris, Trey Harris, and Keenan Allen leave Justin Herbert with an onslaught of weapons. So, McConkey's role might actually reduce in 2025. Still, he is undoubtedly Herbert's number 1 receiver. Number 18, Terry McLaurin, Washington Commanders. If the Commanders honor McLaurin's trade request, Deebo Samuel slots in as their WR1. So, in other words, the Commanders are better off just paying McLaurin what he wants. This model of consistency has eclipsed the 70-catch and 1,000-yard marks in 5 straight years. Coming off an unexpected trip to the NFC Championship game, we can only ask the Commanders what they're waiting for. Just pay the man what he wants. Number 17, DJ Moore, Chicago Bears. Moore had a career year in 2023, but the presence of Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen led to a dip in production for 2025. On one hand, we expect an excellent sophomore year from Caleb Williams, but with Odunze, Luther Burton III, Colson Loveland, and DeAndre Swift also touching the football, just how many targets will Moore actually get? That uncertainty means a middle-of-the-pack ranking here. Number 16, DK Metcalf, Pittsburgh Steelers. Metcalf was a top 5 receiver back in 2020 when he racked up 83 receptions for 1,303 yards and 10 touchdowns. But he's only exceeded 1,100 yards once ever since, unable to regain that all-world form that we saw in his sophomore year. Things could change in 2025, though. Metcalf was traded to the Steelers and handed a 4-year extension worth $132 million. Then they went out and signed Aaron Rodgers, whom we view as an upgrade over Geno Smith. So hey, maybe, just maybe, Metcalf regains that superstar-like form that we saw in 2020. Number 15, Marvin Harrison Jr., Arizona Cardinals. Harrison Jr. didn't have the monster rookie year that most of us expected, but a 62, 885, and 8 stat line is no joke either. Don't be shocked if Harrison Jr. is a consensus top 5 receiver by the end of the season. His potential's sky high, but we have to see it before putting him any higher. Number 14, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The ageless Evans narrowly extended his streak of 1,000-yard seasons to 11 last year. Absolutely remarkable stuff from the 6-time Pro Bowler. Evans has also recorded double-digit TD receptions in 4 of the last 5 seasons. All we can say is that opposing defenses can't wait for him to finally slow down and retire. Number 13, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle Seahawks. The departures of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett opened the door for Smith-Njigba to go from very good to superstar in 2025. JSN broke out last year with 100 catches for 1,330 yards and 6 touchdowns. With the oft-injured 32-year-old Cooper Kupp serving as Seattle's number 2 receiver, JSN should put up something close to, well, 2020 DK Metcalf numbers in year 3. Number 12, Garrett Wilson, New York Jets. Unbelievable. He still hasn't gotten to play with a top 15 caliber quarterback, and he has still exceeded 80 receptions and 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons. The Wilson-Aaron Rodgers connection didn't quite pop off as much as we had hoped, but he still had a career year last season with 101 receptions for 1,104 yards and 7 touchdowns. We're unsure if Justin Fields is the solution for the Jets, but hey, it shouldn't affect Wilson's damage at all, considering that he put up big numbers with Zach Wilson as his QB1. Number 11, Drake London, Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. weren't a great QB tandem in 2024, but certainly better than Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder. Thus, London was able to enjoy a career year with 100 receptions for 1,271 yards and 9 touchdowns. If Penix is the real deal at quarterback, London should kick his game into another gear. Number 10, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville Jaguars. As a rookie, Thomas finished with 87 receptions for 1,282 yards, the second most in football, and 10 touchdowns. So, pardon us for buying the hype that he's on his way to being a top 10 receiver. He has a healthy Trevor Lawrence and a new head coach in Liam Cohen to lead the way. Oh yeah, that Travis Hunter guy should command plenty of attention and open up more room for Thomas to go off in year 2. Number 9, Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins. 1 year after logging a career-high 1,799 receiving yards, Hill endured the most disappointing season of his career, finishing with only 81 receptions for 959 yards and 6 touchdowns. Has age finally caught up to the 31-year-old Hill, or was it just a down year? That's what makes him a tough WR1 to rank. A lot of it is also depending on the health of Tua Tagovailoa because, man, Hill was mostly invisible when his QB1 wasn't around to throw him the ball. But Hill's track record suggests a bounce-back season is in store, so we're going to keep him in the top 10 for now. Number 8, Nico Collins, Houston Texans. Stephon Diggs is gone, and number 2 receiver Tank Dell will unfortunately miss the entire 2025 season. That leaves Collins, already a borderline top 10 receiver last year, in position to reach All-Pro status in 2025. Collins had 1,006 yards last year despite missing 5 games. As CJ Stroud's most trusted target, there is no telling how much he'll produce in 2025. Number 7, Puka Nacua, Los Angeles Rams. Despite missing 6 games last year, Nacua caught 79 passes for 990 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that record-setting 2023 rookie year was no fluke. Nacua is unquestionably a top 10 receiver in the game, and even the arrival of future Hall of Famer Devontae Adams is not going to change that. Number 6, A.J. Brown, Philadelphia Eagles. After exceeding 1,400 yards in consecutive seasons, Brown barely reached 1K in 2024. Of course, he missed 4 games to injury and watched Saquon Barkley emerge as the focal point of the offense with a 2K rushing season. No matter, because the Eagles destroyed Kansas City to win Super Bowl 59. Thus, we don't think Brown is too worried about a minor dip in production. If he can stay healthy, Philly's top receiver should get close to peak A.J. Brown that we saw in 2022 and 2023. Number 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions. The Lions are loaded with superstars on the offensive side of the ball, but St. Brown and running back Jahmyr Gibbs have truly set themselves apart from the rest of the pack. Only CeeDee Lamb has more receptions than St. Brown since 2022, and only 3 have topped his 28 TD receptions. Having earned back-to-back first-team All-Pro nods, St. Brown has cemented himself in the upper class of NFL receivers. Number 4, Malik Neighbors, New York Giants. The number 6 pick of 2024 was everything the Giants could have asked for as a rookie, racking up 109 receptions for 1,204 yards and 7 touchdowns, despite missing 2 games. With Daniel Jones as his primary QB, we'll see who gets most of the snaps between Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and rookie Jackson Dart in 2025, but all are big-time upgrades over the QBs that the Giants have used in the last year. So in other words, expect Neighbors to be an even bigger superstar in 2025. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys. Even though Dak Prescott missed most of last season, Lamb exceeded the 100 catch and 1,100 yard marks for the 3rd straight year en route to a 4th consecutive Pro Bowl selection. The arrival of George Pickens means Dallas finally has a competent number 2 receiver, so we'll see how much that affects Lamb. But a returning Prescott could also mean a giant spike in production for 2025. Number 2, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings. If he didn't miss 7 games in 2023, Jefferson would have 5 straight seasons of over 1,400 yards under his belt. By the way, did you know his 96.5 receiving yards per game are the highest average in NFL history? Former LSU teammate Jamar Chase is a distant second with 87.5, by the way. Jefferson's all-world numbers are also impressive when you consider that he has to share the ball with Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. He is already on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and quite frankly, there's only one other wide receiver in this class, which brings us to number 1. Number 1, Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals. footballs. It's a toss-up between Chase and Jefferson for the top spot, but we're going with Chase because A, there's plenty more certainty with his quarterback. I mean, seriously, give us Joe Burrow over an unproven and great unknown in J.J. McCarthy any day. And B, his lights-out 2024 season. Chase won the Triple Crown of receiving by leading with 127 receptions for 1,708 yards and 17 touchdowns. Burrow and Chase are football's best QB receiver tandem, and we would bet on the latter strengthening his case as football's best receiver in 2025. But hey, what changes would you make to our rankings of every NFL team's top wide receiver for 2025? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.